Here's the second thing you really want to consider when it comes to your stock options. Just the simple, should I buy, should I hold, or should I sell? Now, if you're in a company stock option plan, oftentimes the buying just kind of happens. You're going to take what the company's given you. So more importantly is understanding, well, I've been buying all this, how should I sell it? And there's just the nature of how much you have, but there is also, well, how's the stock doing? Now, what I will see is one of the most common problems. People will they'll just know the price, and they'll set an kind of an idea in their head of what a proper price for their company stock is. But what you want to know deeply is understand this is the stock price, here is the intrinsic value, meaning this is what the price would be if we were only looking at the financials of the company. Let's just look at an example. So we take a look at the stock Boston Scientific, and I'm going to look at 4 different dates. 5 years ago, about March of 2021, price of Boston Scientific, $38. Its intrinsic value, $49. Means it was a really good time to buy Boston Scientific. The value of the company was actually higher than what you could buy it for. November 2023, now we went from Boston Scientific at $38 to $55 a share. And at that time, the intrinsic value was also close to $55. So about a fair value on what you could get. Now, go all the way now to September 2025. Boston Scientific has gone from $55 to $108, whereas the intrinsic value was $65. Now, why is this important? At this particular time, many people are setting that as the price, thinking, oh, this company now has reached 108, and it's going to hold 108. Whereas the intrinsic value, which is often considered in financial terms, kind of that margin of safety, that's the price that you want to be looking much closer at. Because if we go to now February 2026, what happened? We went from 108 down to 76. Now, 76 is still higher than the intrinsic value of 68. Meanwhile, this whole time, Boston Scientific as a company keeps on doing better. It's just the price is volatile. So what does this mean? It's like, this is not a time to feel bad to be able to sell some. Now, even more specific, because this is how it works, and oftentimes when I talk with people, Boston Scientific will drop from 108 to about $93, somewhere around that January 2026 time. And people might be scared. It's like, well, I don't know. I think it might go back up to 108. What you want to look closely at is how far is this 93 over its intrinsic value? And from that, you can determine, yes, don't feel bad about taking some off the table. It's not a bad time to sell still. It's still a good price. Even though it wasn't at 108, it's still a good price because now we're at 76, still not a horrible price, but not nearly as good as 93 or 98. So that's the point I'm trying to make, is understand the stock's intrinsic value, which is just the numbers behind the company. The price itself is going to be more volatile than that, and don't feel bad if you built up a huge position to take some off just because the stock went from 108 to 93. So hopefully this helps. I've got a lot of information already on how to calculate intrinsic value, but that's the number that you want to look at.